Coming up on this episode, some great legal advice for startups at the beginning of their journey, and two startup companies addressing the crisis around single-use plastics.
I candidly think clean tech entrepreneurs are the thing that is going to save the human race from itself. And the innovations that we are creating are the only things that are going to help us get our climate and our resources to a place where we can sustain future generations.
So about that great idea of yours, you've proved it works, you've seen a gap in the market, and there's a group of you working together. A couple of big questions you'd be asking yourself at this point is your idea or your IP protected? And do you have an agreement between the founding members that defines the relationship between each of you? Here's some essential advice from attorney Tony Perkins from Benstein & Scher. Tony, from a legal point of view, what are some of the more common mistakes that startups make at the beginning?
Let's see, I would say that there are probably two or three that always jump out right at the beginning, and that is they're so excited about their innovation or invention that they are talking with everybody that they meet about it. And for intellectual property purposes, you need to be fairly careful about what you're disclosing, who you're disclosing it to. So there's oftentimes a discourse that's gone on that's maybe a little wider than you would want it to be. A related issue is that oftentimes these entrepreneurs or inventors are relying on other teammates, so-called, to help bring the product to an initial form where they can get out into the market and test it. And maybe they don't have agreements, and oftentimes they don't have agreements with these other teammates. And therefore, you've got a number of individuals who might be making claims later about who the inventor was, et cetera. You need to have a very clear understanding of how those teammates are tied together and ultimately who owns the product or the intellectual property that's underlying that product.
You can view the full interview with Tony by clicking here. Good innovation is always a response to a need. And sustainable innovation is when you can create a business that benefits everyone. Take plastics, for example. They're both a blessing and a curse because of what we do when we're finished with them. In 2016, world plastics production totaled around 335 million metric tons. Roughly half of that production is destined for a single-use product. Items like plastic bags, straws, coffee cups, stirrers, and only about 1% of this stuff is actually recycled. So there's a big need, obviously. And here's two startup companies developing innovative approaches to recycling single-use plastics. David New of Obago and Ravish Maditya of Magnoma.
I'm Dave New, and I'm the inventor of the Obago plastic bag recycling machine. I've been very frustrated with my inability to recycle plastic bags the way we're supposed to. You grab a bunch of bags, and this is a couple of these black mulch bags, about 4 or 5 ounces, and you stuff them into the device. And you close the top, and then you just push the button, and it starts. And what it's doing, it's compressing and applying a little heat. And when it's done, you'll end up with a puck, and you'll just take that out and play with it and then recycle it.
And how long does the whole process take?
Right now, this device takes about 30 minutes. And so it's heating very slowly for about 15 minutes, and then it's cooling for about 15 minutes. And it uses about 1 penny of electricity.
Hey, my name is Ravish Maditya, and I'm the founder of Magnoma. It really happened when I was starting to throw items in the curbside recycle bin that really did not belong there. I'm a material scientist myself. I have a PhD in material science, and I thought to myself, hey, this is recyclable. Why not recycle this? We don't think of our plastics packaging from a design for recycle standpoint. We at Magnoma are here to solve that problem. You see, when you pick up a piece of plastic cutlery or a plastic bottle and throw them in the recycle bin, there is still a significant chance that that piece of plastic is not getting recycled. And this is a design flaw. Smaller objects like plastic cutlery or plastic bottles don't get recycled because they're typically made of composite materials or they're simply too small to get picked up and get recycled. At Magnomer, we apply magnetizable coatings on things like labels that go on plastic bottles or directly on the cutlery themselves. Our magnetizable coating means a recycler can simply magnetically sort these items out and recycle them at higher rates and more efficiently.
This sounds great, but you obviously need to tie in with a recycler that's got a magnetic system in place.
So that's the best part about our technology is the magnetic separators are already there with recyclers. Magnetic separation has been around since the 60s and been used to separate our nuts and bolts from our recycled bin. Our product complements the current infrastructure in the community, in our cities. The only change is the way we look at our products and design them so that it complements the end of life recycle and not just functionality when the consumer is using it.
And now a couple of words from Beth Zonas from Cleantech Open, talking about the fundamentals of what an accelerator is and how you can benefit from it.
So Cleantech Open is the world's oldest and largest accelerator for cleantech startups. It's essentially a mini MBA for startups, specifically in cleantech. And we define cleantech rather broadly as things that are energy related as well as things that will help the environment. So we provide a curriculum, we introduce people to mentors and also to investors, and the biggest thing that one of the biggest things that people get out of this is the sense of community and being able to be connected to so many people who are there to help them build their business.
So if you have a cleantech project and you're looking to accelerate its development, why don't you contact Cleantech Open? And remember, if you're serious about taking your cleantech idea to the next level, sign up to the App Stars and be informed, inspired, and entertained.